Subscribe my channel and press bell icon to get all notification.
Hello students, today we will discuss about the NCERT Exemplar questions from the chapter How Do Organisms Reproduce, and we are going to discuss the MCQs question. I will explain you the answers of all the questions with complete explanations so that your all doubts can also be clear. So let's start with the first question. First question is, in the list of the organism given below, those that reproduce by the asexual method are. यहाँ पे कुछ organisms की हमें list दी गई है और हमें find करना है इनमें से कौन सा organism में reproduction asexual mean से होता है. So the correct option that is the banana, yeast and amoeba. All these three organisms they can reproduce through the asexual mean. We know banana can do reproduction by the vegetative propagation. वेजिटेटिव प्रोपगेशन से रिप्रोडक्शन कर सकता है. ईस्ट ऑल्सो डू असेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन थ्रू द बडिंग मैथड. ईस्ट के अंदर बडिंग मैथड हमें देखने को मिलता है जिससे वो असेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन करता है. एंड अमीबा कैन डू रिप्रोडक्शन बाय द बाइनरी फिजन. अमीबा में बाइनरी फिजन से असेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन होता है. ओनली द डॉग इज द ऑर्गेनिज्म विच डू सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन. सो द करेक्ट आंसर इज ऑप्शन बी. Now move on to the next question. Question number 2 is, in a flower, the parts that produce male and female gametes are. Male and female gametes और the germ cells plant के कौन से part में बनते हैं flower के. We know male gametes are the pollen grains and female gametes are the egg. So these egg and pollen grains are formed into the male and female reproductive part of the flower. Male reproductive part of the flower is the stamen and the female reproductive part of the flower is the pistil. And the stamen has two parts, that is anther, that is the lobe structure, and a filament, that is thin filament or thin tube-like structure, that is the filament. So these two are the part of the stamen, whereas the pistil has the three part, that is stigma, then style, and the lower part is the ovary. So ये कुछ parts हो गए हैं important parts male and female reproductive system के. Anther has a bilobe structure, lower it has a filament, and the stigma, style and ovary, these are the part of female reproductive system where the embryo sac is formed, or inside the embryo sac the female gamete egg is formed. So these structures are responsible for the formation of male and female gametes. The male gametes are formed inside the anther. This is the anther, and inside the anther male gametes or the pollen grains are formed, whereas the female gamete is formed inside the ovary. So the correct answer is anther and ovary. Option C will be the correct answer. Now move on to the next question. Next question is question number 3. Which of the following is the correct sequence of events of sexual reproduction in the flower? हमें flower में sexual reproduction का correct sequence बताना है. First we know that the pollination सबसे पहले होगा. So these two are the wrong. Pollination, after pollination the fertilization will happen, and fertilization के बाद zygote बनेगा. Zygote will develop into the embryo, and then embryo will develop into the seedling. So that will be the correct sequence. Without pollination fertilization is not possible. So सबसे पहले तो pollination ही होगा, उसके बाद fertilization के बाद embryo, and then it will develop into the seedling, and the seedling will form a new plant. So this is the correct sequence. Question number 4. Offsprings formed by the asexual method of reproduction have greater similarities among themselves because जो organism असेक्सुअल मेथड से रिप्रोडक्शन करते हैं उनके अंदर सिमिलैरिटीज़ के चांसेस जो होते हैं वो बहुत ज़्यादा होते हैं. इसका क्या रीज़न है? फर्स्ट ऑप्शन इज असेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन इन्वॉल्व्स ओनली वन पेरेंट्स. That's true. Second, asexual reproduction does not involve gametes. That's also true. Third, asexual reproduction occur before sexual reproduction. No, it's not necessary. Asexual reproduction occur after sexual reproduction. So this is also not necessary. These two options are correct. We know in the case of asexual reproduction only one parent is involved, and here no gametes are also involved. This reproduction happens just with the help of one parent. So the correct answer of this question is option A. Option 1 and 2 are the correct options. Now move on to the next question. Question number 5, which is characters transmitted from parents to the offsprings are present in. Parents से जो offsprings में character का transmission होता है ये किसकी मदद से होता है? It happens with the help of genes. Cytoplasm, ribosomes and Golgi bodies, these are the cell पार्ट। साइटोप्लाज्म भी सेल के बीच में होता है। राइबोसोम्स ऑफ द प्रोटीन फैक्ट्री। गोल्जी बॉडीज आर ऑल्सो इम्पॉर्टेंट in the formation of packaging and transportation of protein etc. These are not related with the transmission of character, so correct answer is the genes are responsible for the transmission of characters. Next question, question number 6. Characters that are transmitted from parents to offspring during reproduction show. जो कैरेक्टर्स ट्रांसमिट होते हैं पेरेंट्स से ऑफस्प्रिंग के अंदर, उनमें क्या हमें देखने को मिलेगा? ओनली सिमिलैरिटीज विद पेरेंट्स, ओनली वेरिएशंस विद पेरेंट्स, बोथ सिमिलैरिटीज एंड वेरिएशंस विद पेरेंट्स, नीदर सिमिलैरिटीज नॉर वेरिएशंस. सो ऑप्शन नंबर सी विल बी द करेक्ट आंसर, बोथ सिमिलैरिटीज एंड वेरिएशंस. ऑफस्प्रिंग्स के अंदर जो कैरेक्टर्स अपने पेरेंट्स से आ रहे हैं वहाँ पे कुछ सिमिलैरिटीज़ भी होती हैं और कुछ वेरिएशंस भी होते हैं. सिमिलैरिटीज़ का रीज़न है बिकॉज दे आर ऑफस्प्रिंग्स आर गेटिंग द जीन्स फ्रॉम both of the parents, from father as well as from mothers, whereas the reason of variations is the mixing of the genetic material of both of these father and mother's genetic material. So option number C is the correct answer. Now move on to the next question, that is 7th question. A feature of reproduction which is कॉमन ऑफ अमीबा, स्पायरोगायरा एंड ईस्ट इज दैट. जो कॉमन फीचर हमें यहाँ पे देखने को मिल रहा है रिप्रोडक्शन से रिलेटेड अमीबा में, स्पायरोगायरा में और ईस्ट के अंदर, वो क्या है? सो फर्स्ट इज दे रिप्रोड्यूस असेक्सुअली, they are all unicellular, they reproduce only sexually, they are all multicellular. So first option is correct, but second, they are all unicellular, this option is not correct. Spirogyra is not a unicellular organism. Amoeba is unicellular and yeast is unicellular, but Spirogyra is not unicellular. They reproduce only sexually, this is also not true. They are all are multicellular, so this option is also wrong. So correct answer is option number 1, that is related with the reproduction because they can reproduce asexually. So this option is the correct answer. Next question, in Spirogyra asexual reproduction take place by. Spirogyra is a fungus alga and it's a filamentous alga. Spirogyra एक filamentous alga होता है in which the spiral DNA is present. इसमें spiral DNA present रहता है and it can break down into the different fragments. इसकी जो body है वो fragments में break हो जाएगी and each fragment can give rise to a new individual. So the correct answer of this question is option number 1, breaking up of filaments into the smaller bits. So in this way Spirogyra can do reproduction. Now move on to the next question. Next question, the ability of a cell to divide into several cells during reproduction in plasmodium is called. Plasmodium के अंदर एक सेल का बहुत सारी सेल्स में डिवाइड होना, इस तरीके की रिप्रोडक्शन को कहा जाता है मल्टीपल फिजन. वी नो प्लाज्मोडियम इज ग्रो इनसाइड द ह्यूमन बॉडी के अंदर ग्रो करता है जहाँ पे एक सेल बार बार डिवाइड होती है एंड दे फॉर्म अ मल्टी सेलुलर स्ट्रक्चर एंड दिस टाइप ऑफ डिवीजन इज नॉन एज मल्टीपल फिजन. एंड व्हेन दिस outer covering, that cyst hard outer covering is burst, all these cells they can released out. So this type of division is known as multiple fission and it is found in the case of plasmodium. Next question is the correct sequence of reproductive stages seen in flowering plant is. फ्लावरिंग प्लांट में मिलने वाली रिप्रोडक्टिव स्टेज की करेक्ट सीक्वेंस क्या है? आई थिंक दिस क्वेश्चन इज वेरी मच सिंपलर फॉर ऑल ऑफ you and I am not going to give you the answer. You have to give the answer by your own. So try to give me the answer of this question by writing into the comment box. Now let's move on to the next question. That is question number 11. The number of chromosomes in a parent and offspring of a particular species remain constant due to. एक offspring के अंदर क्रोमोसोम जो होते हैं पेरेंट से ऑफस्प्रिंग में जब ट्रांसमिट होते हैं तो वो एक पर्टिकुलर स्टेज पे या पर्टिकुलर लेवल में कांस्टेंट कैसे रह पाते हैं? द रीजन ऑफ दिस इज द हाफिंग ऑफ क्रोमोसोम ड्यूरिंग द गैमेट फॉर्मेशन. वी नो दैट ड्यूरिंग द गैमेट फॉर्मेशन, जो गैमेट फॉर्मेशन हो रहा है, मेल गैमेट और फीमेल गैमेट्स फॉर्म होते हैं. दीज गैमेट्स आर फॉर्म ड्यू टू द प्रोसेस ऑफ मियोसिस. यहाँ पे मियोसिस डिवीजन होता है एंड ड्यू टू दिस मियोसिस डिवीजन द नंबर ऑफ क्रोमोसोम गेट रिड्यूस. 146 number 46 chromosome containing cells, it divide by the process of meiosis, and it forms the cells which have the half the number of chromosomes, that is 23. The 23 numbers chromosome containing cells, male and female cells, when they fuse, they form the zygote which has the 46 chromosome. So ये 46 number containing जो zygote होता है, this zygote further develop into the individual or an offspring. तो बिफोर डिवीजन ये जो क्रोमोसोम्स को हाफ किया गया है, यही एक प्रोसेस है जिसकी वजह से क्रोमोसोम्स नंबर रिटेन रह पाते हैं और कांस्टेंट रह पाते हैं व्हेन दे ट्रांसमिट फ्रॉम पेरेंट्स टू देयर ऑफस्प्रिंग. सो करेक्ट आंसर इज ऑप्शन नंबर बी, that is halving of chromosome during gamete formation. Now move on to the next question. Question number 12. In Rhizopos, tubular thread-like structures bearing sporangia at their tips are called as Rhizopus. जो fungus है, Rhizopus is a fungus and it has a tubular structure. तो अगर आपने डायग्राम देखा हो, आपको ध्यान हो, तो Rhizopus की इस तरीके की स्ट्रक्चर्स हमें देखने को मिलती हैं and they have tubular structure on which the bag-like structure is formed, which is known as sporangia, and these tubular structures are known as hyphae. So name of this structure is hyphae. So correct answer is hyphae, जिसके ऊपर sporangia bear रहते हैं. Now move on to the next structure question, that is question number 13. In vegetative propagation refer to the formation of new plants from. Vegetative propagation जो है वो कौन से पार्ट से होता है? In vegetative propagation we know that plants can reproduce through the stem, roots and the leaves. In this options, flower is given, here flower is also given, and here flower is also given. So all these three statements are wrong because flower is involved into the sexual reproduction. So correct answer is option B. Now question number 14 is the factor responsible for the rapid spread of bread mold on slices of bread are the large number of spores, availability of moisture and nutrients in the bread, presence of tubular branched hyphae, and formation of round-shaped sporangia. So these two are not related with this. Large number of spores and availability of moisture and nutrient in bread is the correct answer. So option number this is the first and 2 is correct and it is given in option number C. So correct answer is option C. Now move on to the next question. The length of the pollen tube depends on the distance between. pollen tube की जो length होती है वो कितने डिस्टेंस पे डिपेंड करती है? The pollen grain and the upper surface of the stigma, we know that this is the stigma, and from stigma the long structure which is the style, and inside the lower part the ovary is present. So when pollen grains reaches to the stigma part, they make a pollen tube, and this length of pollen tube depends on between the distance of this part. This part it is responsible to make the distance of pollen tube. So pollen grains and the upper surface of the stigma, this option is not correct. Pollen grains on upper surface of stigma and ovule, this is also not correct. Pollen grain in anther and the upper surface of stigma, okay, and upper surface of stigma and the lower part of the style, this will be the correct answer. So we can say that option number D will be the correct answer of this question. It depends on this two factors, upper surface of stigma and the lower part of the style, that is given here also. So next question is question number 16. In which of the following statements are true for flowers? Flowers के लिए एक true statement कौन सी है, हमें वो ढूंढनी है. Flowers are always bisexual, it's not true. Some flowers are unisexual also. They are sexual reproductive organs, it's true. They are produced in all groups of plants, no, it's wrong. After fertilization they give rise to the fruits, this is also true. After fertilization flowers converts जो give rise to fruits form करने का काम करते हैं. So we can say that the correct answer is option number 2nd and 4th, and it is given in the option D. So this is correct answer. Next question, question number 17. Which among the following statements are true for unisexual flower? Unisexual flower के लिए true statement कौन सा है, हमें वो देखना है. First, they possess both stamen and pistil. They possess either stamen or pistil. They exhibit or cross pollination. Unisexual flower possessing only stamens cannot produce fruits. So we can say that the option number 3rd, second is correct. third is also correct and the fourth one is also correct, but the option number 1, they possess both stamen and pistil. अगर दोनों ही होंगे तो उस फ्लावर को हम क्या यूनिसेक्सुअल कह सकते हैं? नो, it would be the bisexual flower. So first statement is not correct. Rest all are correct. They can possess stamen or either stamen or pistil. They exhibit cross pollination. Cross pollination क्यों करेंगे? क्योंकि एक फ्लावर के स्टेमन से दूसरे फ्लावर की पिस्टिल पे pollen grains का ट्रांसफर होगा, because they are unisexual. नेक्स्ट, यूनिसेक्सुअल फ्लावर पोजेसिंग ओनली स्टेमन्स कैन नॉट प्रोड्यूस फ्रूट्स. तो जिनके अंदर स्टेमन प्रेजेंट होगा वहां पे फ्रूट का फॉर्मेशन नहीं हो सकता, बिकॉज द फ्रूट इज फॉर्म फ्रॉम द फीमेल पार्ट ऑफ द flower, that is the pistil, and in the pistil the ovary is responsible for formation of the fruit. So this is also the correct statement, only the first is the wrong. So we can say that the option number B, in which the second, third and fourth are given, this is the true answer. Now next question, question number 18. Which among the following statements are true for the sexual reproduction of the flowering plant? Sexual reproduction को show करने वाला ऐसा कौन सा option है जो correct है flowering plant से related? So here different options are given. It requires two types of gametes. Yes, it's true. Fertilization is a compulsory event. That also we can say that fertilization is a compulsory event, and it always result in the formation of zygote, and offspring formed are clones. So all these three are the correct option except the fourth. This fourth one is not the correct answer option. Offspring formed are clones. यहाँ पे cloning नहीं होंगे because the sexual reproduction हो रहा है, so it will form the both, it will consist the both the character of male and female parents. दोनों के character ही present होंगे. So fourth को छोड़ते हुए हमें जो भी options नजर आ रहा है, that is first, second and third. So option C, it consists first, second and third option. So C will be the correct answer. Now move on to the next question. In figure 8.1, here one figure is given and we have to find out the correct sequence of A, B and C. We know that A is the part that is known as radicle. A is the radicle which A is the plumule. A जो है it is the plumule and this plumule will give rise the future shoot. ये shoot बनाने का काम करता है. So A जो part है वहाँ से shoot formation होगा. The B part is the cotyledon which forms the or which provide the nutrient, and the C is the radical part which forms the future root. So the correct options is plumule, cotyledon and the radicle. So this is given in the option number C. It will be the correct answer. Now move on to the next question. Question number 20. Offsprings formed as a result of sexual reproduction exhibit more variations because जो sexual reproduction करते हैं उन organisms में हमें variations ज़्यादा देखने को मिलती हैं. इसका reason क्या है? The reason is genetic material comes from the two parents of the same species. यहाँ पे genetic material दोनों parents से आ रहा है. Sexual reproduction है means it has the male and female. दोनों ही तरीके के यहाँ पे gametes होंगे और दोनों gametes के fusion से zygote का formation होगा, and this zygote will contain the characters of both parents, from the male partner and from the female partner. So we can say the genetic material comes from the two parents of the same species. This is the reason of variations in the sexual reproduction. So this is the correct answer. Next question. Reproduction is essential for living organism in order to. सेक्सुअल जो रिप्रोडक्शन जो है वो एक एसेंशियल प्रोसेस क्यों है लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स के लिए? कीप द इंडिविजुअल ऑर्गेनिज्म अलाइव. नो, इट्स नॉट करेक्ट. फुलफिल देयर एनर्जी रिक्वायरमेंट. दिस इज ऑल्सो नॉट रिक्वायर्ड. मेंटेन ग्रोथ. इट इज ऑल्सो नॉट रिक्वायर्ड. कंटिन्यूअस स्पीसीज जनरेशन आफ्टर जनरेशन. यस, दिस इज द करेक्ट ऑप्शन. रिप्रोडक्शन की वजह से किसी भी स्पीसीज की जो जनरेशन है वो कंटिन्यू रहेगी, स्पीसीज कंटिन्यू रहेगी जनरेशन आफ्टर जनरेशन. सो ऑप्शन नंबर डी इज द करेक्ट आंसर. Now question number 22. During adolescence, several changes occur in the human body. Mark the one change associated with sexual maturation in boys. हमें एक ऐसा sexual change देखना है, एक ऐसा body change देखना है जो सिर्फ boys के अंदर adolescence में देखने को मिलता है. So correct option is the cracking of voice. ये जो ऑप्शन है ये ही बॉय से रिलेटेड है. बाकी ऑप्शन जो हैं वो ऐसे कोई पर्टिकुलर ऑप्शंस नहीं है. लॉस ऑफ मिल्क टीथ इज नॉट रिलेटेड विद द अडोलसेंस. इंक्रीज द हाइट इज ऑल्सो नॉट रिलेटेड. इट कैन बी ऑल्सो सीन इन द केस ऑफ गर्ल्स ऑल्सो. एंड वेट गेन इज ऑल्सो नॉट एट सच अ specific characters of adolescence. So the correct answer is cracking of voice. Now question number 23. In human females, an event that reflects onset of puberty is, females के अंदर puberty का onset होना यानी कि start होना कौन से character से कौन से event से पता चलता है? That is the menstruation. Growth of body, changes in hair pattern, change in the voice, these all are can be also can be present into the boys. ये character तो boys में भी मिल सकते हैं. This is the only character which is present in the girls and it shows the onset of reproductive maturity. Next question. Question number 24. In human males, the testes lie in the scrotum. Human male के अंदर testes जो होते हैं वो scrotum में present रहते हैं. ऐसा क्यों है? इसका क्या reason है? Process of mating? No, it's not necessary. Formation of sperms, easy transfer of gametes, and all of the above. The correct answer is formation of sperm. We know that in the human testes that sperms are formed. Testis के अंदर sperm का production होना है and the form sperm production does this process of sperm production it requires the low temperature. इस process के लिए low temperature की जरूरत होती है and this low temperature can be provided when the testes are present outside the abdominal cavity. This low temperature, or we can say that this process required 2 to 2.5 डिग्री सेल्सियस लोअर टेम्परेचर देन द बॉडी टेम्परेचर. हमारे जो बॉडी का टेम्परेचर है उससे 2 से 2.5 डिग्री सेल्सियस का लोअर बॉडी टेम्परेचर रिक्वायर्ड होता है स्पर्म प्रोडक्शन के लिए. दैट्स व्हाई द टेस्टिस लाई इन द स्क्रोटम outside the abdominal cavity. So correct answer is option B. Question number 25 is, which among the following is not the function of testis at the puberty? इनमें से कौन सा testis का function नहीं है puberty के time का? Formation of germ cells, secretion of testosterone, that two are the functions. These two options are correct. Development of placenta and secretion of estrogen, both these two are related with the female body. ये दोनों female body के ही functions हैं. So these two are the correct option. So first and second options are correct and it is given in option number A. So correct option is option number A. Next is, the correct sequence of organs in the male reproductive system for transport of sperm is. स्पर्म्स का जो ट्रांसपोर्टेशन हो रहा है फीमेल मेल्स के अंदर वो किस सीक्वेंस में हो रहा है? वी नो द स्पर्म्स आर फॉर्म्ड इनटू द टेस्टिस में बन रहे हैं. फ्रॉम टेस्टिस दे आर ट्रांसफर टू द वास डिफरेंस एंड देन दे आर ट्रांसफर टू द यूरेथ्रा. So this is the correct options. In another options, the ureter is given here. Ureter and ureter. Ureter is not related with the sperm transformation. This is related with the kidney. They transport the urine from kidney to urinary bladder. Urinary bladder तक ट्रांसफर करने का काम करते हैं ureter. So they are not related with the sperm transformation. Next question is question number 27. Which among the following disease is not a sexually transmitted disease? इनमें से कौन सी disease ऐसी है जो sexually transmitted नहीं है? Syphilis is a sexually transmitted disease. These type of diseases are known as STDs, sexually transmitted diseases. So syphilis is a STD and HIV, AIDS and gonorrhea are also STDs, but hepatitis is not a sexually transmitted disease. It's a viral disease which can be transmitted through the contaminated food or water, especially water. So it's a waterborne disease. So correct answer is hepatitis. Rest all are STDs or sexually transmitted disease. So here we completed the NCERT exemplar question of this chapter. In the next video we will meet with the next chapter. So keep watching, keep studying and keep learning. Thank you.